Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavam Sacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Tam Sacha Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnanansalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Guru-vaiṣṇava Sapurakam Guru Ganayarashisa Sambhushitam Chinta Chinta Samastu Vedanipunam Shri Rupa Panthanugam Govinda Vidam Ujjalam Martanam Bhaktyanvitam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Cha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hibijbradam Devam Divyatanum Sushandravadanam Balarkachelanchitam Sandranandapuram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhantanidhim Subhaktilasitam Saraswatanam Maram Vandetam Shubhadam Madekasharanam Nyasiswaram Srīdharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Guruvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhat Gagne Gaura Sankirtanaye Mayavadat Mingilo Daragatan Dhritti Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdika Sukham Pradat Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kishoraya Bhaktavadhuta Murtaye Gauranga Padma Brangaya Radha Bhavam Sevine Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudhanadam Gaura Vrajasita Shaira Vaishnavaira Vanda Vikraham Jagannatha Prabhum Mande Primabdham Buddha Vaishnavam Vancha Kalpataru Bharscha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahavadanaye Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaura Trishela Maha Jayatam Surto Pango Namamanda Matargati Matsarvasya Padam Bhojao Radha Madan Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadhash Madratnagar Singhasanastau Shri Gandharva Shila Govinda Devo Prishthalavi Sevamanam Smarami Shriman Rasarasaram Bhivam Shivata Tatasthita Karshan Venu Saner Gopi Gopinath Shyastuna Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Suttavatyai Namo Namo Athnatva Guruna Bhavatarthadan Vyasan Jagat Gurun Natva Tato Jayam Mudire Jaya Saparikara Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Pad Parmanam Restu Jaya Saparikara Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Pad Padmanam Restu Soquel Seva Ashram Moro Namaskara Ite Kichwa Parad Naukama Yacheno Ibena Prabhu Rajata Bhaktajan Vandana Koryam Isavara Charan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sastang Dandat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, devotees worldwide serving at the lotus feet of Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj. Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktī Rakshak Srīdhar Goswāmī Mahārāj and Om Vishnupad Vishwarena Śrīla Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. We are live from Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram, Soquel, California, and welcome to our Saturday afternoon Bhagavad Gītā Goshti. We're going to have some kirtan led by Lavanya Sundari, and then we're going to pick up from where we left off, which is chapter 5. We will be beginning chapter 5, so we will continue our reading and discussion after Lavanya Sundari Didi's ecstatic kirtan.
Start with page 74, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Shri Guru-vaiṣṇava Māhātmya-gīti by Śrīla Lochan Dās Ṭhākur. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda,
Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma, Bando mui sabadana ma ke, jaharo prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hote, jaha hote, Guru mukha padma vakya nitete koriyai ka. Guru mukha nitete koriyai ka. Arana kari ho mane asha, Shri Guru Charane Rati Sai Sai Uttama Gati, Sai Sai Uttama De Prasade Pure Sarvai আশা চক্ষুদানা দিল জয় জনে জনে প্রভু সে চক্ষুদানা দিল জয় জনে জনে প্রভু সে জ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশিত প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকনাথ কের জীবন হাহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পাদ ছায়া এ আধম লইল শরণ তুয়া পাদে লইনু শরণ তুয়া পাদে লইনু শরণ আমি শরণিলা আমি শরণিলা অভয় শ্রীপাদ পদ্মে শরণিলা অভয় শ্রীপাদ পদ্মে শরণিলা দয়া কর হে আমার দয়া কর হে পতিত পাবন শ্রী গুরুদেব দয়া কর হে অধম পতিত জনে দয়া কর হে চরণে সেবা দিয়া দয়া কর হে শ্রী চরণে সেবা দিয়া শ্রী চরণে স্থান দিয়া দয়া কর হে দয়া কর অধম পতিত জনে দয়া কর হে Okay, we'll sing page 124. Nittai Gunamani Amar. 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 By Śrīla Lochan Dās Ṭhākur. Nittai Gunamani Amar. Nittai Gunamani. Nittai Gunamani Amar. Nittai Gunamani. আনিয়া প্রেমের বন্য ভাষালয় বাণী আনিয়া প্রেমের বন্য ভাষালয় বাণী নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি প্রেমা বন্যালো নিতাই মহিলা গৌরা দেশে প্রেমা বন্যালো নিতাই আইলা গৌরা দেশে ডুবিল ভক্ত গণ দীনাহীনা ভাসে ডুবিল ভক্ত গণ দীনাহীনা ভাসে দীনাহীনা পতিত মরণহি বাছে দীনাহীনা পতিত মরণহি বাছে ব্রহ্মর দুর্লভ প্রেম সবকর যাসে ব্রহ্মর দুর্লভ প্রেম সবকর যাসে নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি আবদ্ধ করুণা সিন্ধু কাটিয়া মোহান আবদ্ধ করুণা সিন্ধু কাটিয়া মোহান ঘরে ঘরে বুলে প্রেম আমি আর বানা ঘরে ঘরে বুলে প্রেম আমি আর বানা লোচন বলে হেন নিতাই যে বানা ভজিল লোচন বলে হেন নিতাই যে বানা ভজিল জানিয়া শুনিয়া সে আত্মগতি হইল জানিয়া শুনিয়া সে আত্মগতি হইল লোচন বলে হেন নিতাই যে বানা ভজিল লোচন বলে হেন নিতাই যে বানা ভজিল জানিয়া শুনিয়া সে আত্মঘাতী হইল জানিয়া শুনিয়া সে আত্মগতি হইল নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি নিতাই গুণামণি আমার নিতাই গুণামণি হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay. Let's sing 132. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware Nam Gai Gaura Madhur Sware Gai Gaura Madhur Sware Gai Madhur Sware. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gaura Madhur Sware Gai Nam Gai Gaura Madhur Sware. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, गाय गौरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गृहे थाको बने थाको सदा हरि बोले डाको हे थाको बने थाको सदा हरि बोले डाको सुखे दुखे भूलो ना को बदने हरि नाम करो रे गाय गौरा मधुर स्वरे गौरा मधुर स्वरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे माया जले बाध होए आचो मीचे काज लोए माया जले बाध होए आचो मीचे काज लोए एखनायो चेतन पे राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे एखनायो चेतन पे राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे गाय गौरा मधुर स्वरे गाय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे जीवन होइलो से ना भजिले ऋषि के ना होइलो से ना भजिले ऋषि के भक्ति विनोद उपदेश एक बार नम्र से मतोरे भक्ति विनोद उपदेश एक बार नम्र से मतोरे गाय गौरा मधुर स्वरे गौरा मधुर स्वरे नाम गाय गौरा मधुर स्वरे गौरा मधुर स्वरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Shri Nam by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai.
Sundari ki jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Lavanya Sundari Didi ki jai. Thank you for leading us to that ecstatic kirtan session. So we're beginning with chapter 5, Karma-sannyāsa-yoga, path of renunciation of action. So we can read, actually we can chant till 13, 14, 15. Let's chant till 15.
Chant till which one?
Huh?
Chant till which one?
Number 15.
Oh, okay.
So we'll chant all the way till number 15. Arjuna Vacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam Cha Samsashi Yachreyatayora Ekam Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam Sri Bhagavan Vacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karaubhau Tayosato Karma-sannyāsat Karma-yogo Visishyate Gyayasa Nitya Sannyasi Yona Dveshti Na Kamshati Nirdhandohi Mahabaho Sukham Bandhat Pramuchyate Sankhya Yoga Prathak Balaha Pravadantina Pandita Ekam apyastita samyag ubhayora vindate phalam yata sankhyae prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gammate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yapashyati sa pashyati sannyāsastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogata Yoga yukto munir brahma achirena digacchati Yoga yukto shuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya Sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavid Pasyan, Shamanan, Spashnan, Jignan, Asnan, Gachan, Sapna, Swasan, Pralapan, Visajan, Grahanan, Unmishan, Nimishannapi, Indriyan, Indriyaratheshu, Vartanta iti dharayan. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotiya lipyatena sapapena padmapatram nivambasa kayena manasa buddhaya kevalaira indriyairapi yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atmashuddhaye. Okay. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantimapnoti naistikim ayukta kama karena phalena sakto nibadhyate sarva karmani manasa sannyāyaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi Naiva kurvan na karayan na kartattam na karmani lokasya sajati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svavastu pravartate na datte kasyachid papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnanena vratam jnanam Tena muhyanti jantava. So, Lavanya, you want to start reading the...
Let's go all the way back. Yes, okay. Okay. Arjuna said, O Krishna, you speak of renunciation of actions, and then again, You speak of the path of selfless action. Therefore, please tell me clearly which is superior.
The Supreme Lord said, both renunciation of action and the path of selfless action bring great benefit. Yes, of the two know that the way of selfless action is superior.
O mighty armed Arjuna, know that one who is free from action and aversion is truly renounced. Through performing action, one who is free from duality easily attains liberation from bondage.
The path of renunciation, Sankhya Yoga, and the path of selfless action, Karma Yoga, are considered separate paths by the unwise, but not by the learned. One who perfectly follows either of these paths will achieve the results of both. So, just a quick note here that Arjuna is still asking which one, because he still cannot see that they both are kind of like the same or leading to the same conclusion. So he just sees that they're two separate paths, and so he's asking which one, because according to him, Krishna sometimes he says this, sometimes he says that. So he's like, which one? Just tell me clearly. That's where he begins from. But in any case, to begin with, this is noteworthy that when the Supreme Lord, when he starts to reply in verse number 2, he says, in the latter part, yet of the two know that the way of selfless action is superior, rather than completely giving up action or trying to give that up, because that's artificial.
And pretentious.
Exactly, because we being like spirit soul, we can't be still for even a split second. Our nature is to be active. And so to impose upon us this artificial inaction, or this thing of inactivity, is not according to our innate nature, which is to be active, to be engaged. So
an unnatural ambition.
Yeah. Just because it's something that one is projecting or one is imagining.
Some sort of personal achievement.
Yeah, like see how it'll be complete stillness, and that's that'll be the stage of perfection. But that's all like mental gymnastics to be still.
Sounds like a little bit of confusion there, but okay.
But that's why he says the selfless action is superior. So you're engaged, you're always active, but that action is selfless. You remember he gave his own example. He goes, in the previous chapters, he says, I have no obligations in all three worlds. I have nothing to achieve. I don't aspire for anything, yet I am engaged. Like I'm driving your chariot. Am I not? So activity and not being still. So in any way, he brings that out here. So number 5. So I read 4.
No.
The state of
No.
the
Yeah, we
state-
read 4.
Huh?
You read 4.
So number 5 I read, the state achieved by
No.
renunciation of action.
Not 5.
So you read then. You start from 5.
The state achieved by the renunciation of action is also achieved by the performance of selfless action.
One who sees. It's not complete.
Oh, it continues. Okay. One who sees these two paths to be one and the same actually sees.
See? So factually, renunciation of action would mean what? Would only mean to renounce those actions that are selfish. Right?
That would be the culprit.
So why? Because that tendency is gone. Don't want to act selfishly. So renunciation will happen automatically. Okay. Haripriya Didi, number 6.
Oh, mighty hero, without selfless action, my renunciation of action is the cause of sorrow, that the wise man who engages in selfless action swiftly attains to the absolute.
The clean-hearted person who engages in yoga controls his mind and senses, becoming filled with affection and compassion for all living beings, all beings. Although fully active, he is never implicated by any action.
So selfless action, he's saying here that although the clean-hearted person, clean-hearted meaning no selfish interest, no separate interest, when they're filled with affection and compassion for all beings. If they have affection for the center, then it's for everyone. It doesn't just stay there.
Yes, for example, I see is you do this action, no, but you let go. Is same meaning? For example, I am doing something,
So
but
yeah,
I let go. What happens?
so that's good. That's a step above than the gross materialist, because what you're saying is you're not you're offering, by letting go, you're offering the fruit of your action. You're not any more attracted by the fruit, and fruit you're saying, let's go, I let go. So that's a step above materialism, gross materialism. Here it says that the very intention of engaging in any kind of action is selfless. So this is gradation. So in gradation, this is, you can say, a little subtler than the fruits. So first is people are engaging in all kinds of things for fruit. That's gross materialism. All selfish. A stage higher than that is the fruit I'm going to let go. Like you're saying, I am not worried about the fruit. Let the fruit, let's say I'm offering it.
Because when you are thinking what I will get with my action, I think we feel tension.
Anxiety, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is what I was trying to explain. What you're saying is not being attached to the fruit of the action, or not being motivated by the fruit of one's action. But what here is explaining is a level higher. It's the very engagement or the initiation of action, the intent of engaging has gone about a transformation. It's no longer selfish. So not just the fruit, but the very action in of itself, the nature has changed. Is that fair?
Yes.
So what you explained is good. It's progress. But this is a step higher. Even to engage in anything. Jai Sapai Jai Shri Shri Guru Govinda Ki Jai. So, not just simply to let go or dissociate oneself from the anxiety of worrying about the fruit of the action in of itself and the intent thereof has undergone a transformation. That is selfless action. Please think on that a little bit. It's fine, but it's very wonderful. Lavanya, did you understand the progress?
I think so.
Good.
It's more subtle, it's more fine. It's not, the action itself may look the same, but what the intent is completely different.
So from functionality perspective, from the point of view of, let's say, an entity who's trying to engage in a certain task, action, or a set of tasks, first level would be progress, where they would go, all of these things that I am engaging in is going to fetch some fruit, but I'm going to offer the fruit to the Lord. Okay? Till here, just follow me till here. So that's one. And whatever the fruit is, good, bad, I'm not concerned about that. Everything goes to the infinite. And from there, whatever is adjusted will come as prasadam to me. Right? So then, no anxiety. And happily engaging in all sorts of things. Very nice. Now you keep doing that. Then it needs to go deeper. You go deeper. And then the intent of action will also undergo some transformation. So you weren't thinking initially, you were engaging in all kinds of things. Now you will be more discerning, like you will only engage in that kind of action or those sets of activities and tasks that are selfless, not selfish, but the tasks, not the fruit. That's the difference. So it comes slowly by practice. Does that make sense?
Perfect. All of it hinging upon a clean heart.
So what is that clean heart? Clean heart is no selfish interest now. At the first level, there may have been some mixed interest. There may have been some level of mixed interest. Like, okay, well, most of what I'm doing, the fruit to the center, some to me, some for me. Here, none for me, everything for the center. So the intent of engagement in action has changed, has undergone a transformation. That is real renunciation of action. And not just wholesale giving up any kind of action and withdrawing. That's like not good. That's like a strike. No more working in the factory today, everything shut down, all production down. Not like that. Is that good, Haripriya Didi?
Yes.
Okay. So we were at, Lavanya, do you remember 7?
So I think 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, 8. I'm going to read that. It's my turn now.
It's your turn.
8 and 9. Okay, I get to read 2.
You can do this.
You got this.
Okay.
Some encouragement.
The realized karma yogi performs the activities of seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, speaking, evacuating, grasping objects, blinking the eyes, and so on. And he understands my sense organs, eyes, ears, skin, nose, tongue, functions in relation to their respective objects of form, sound, touch, smell, and taste. Thus he considers, I do not perform any action at all. Okay, now, so you remember that that table that we shared some time back? The objects of the senses
Right.
vis-a-vis the elements. So they were all like tabular, and so here,
Tongue, taste.
right?
Yeah.
So that if you see that with this verse, it will be perfectly clear to you. Because someone who has reached that level of vision,
Vision, right, absolutely.
then they will be able to go, okay, why is this happening? Because my tongue is attracted there. Why is this happening? Because my eyes are attracted there. Why is this happening? Because nose is running to that wonderful aroma. And so one will be able to like, okay, well, that's a network, but that's not me. And then they're able to dissociate themselves from all of these things that are happening, which are entirely under the modes and has nothing to do with the real entity. So that is a proper karma yogi. Karma yogi is detaching. But guess what? Even at karma yogi, at the level of karma yoga, anything that is happening, it still has a positive or a negative effect for the entity separately. Why? Because karma yogi essentially is not yet dedicating everything to the center, to Krishna. So there's a difference. There will still be a credit or a debit happening in his separate account, even though he's reached a level of perfection of dissociating himself from all these various activities that are supposedly happening, but he is not implicated. But one when engages in service, that is different, even higher than karma yoga. Why? Then there is no credit or there is no debit coming to one's separate account. It's all going to the center. Jai Sharangi Didi ki Jai. It's all going to the center. See the difference? So even the perfection of karma yoga is excellent, is really high situation. But perfect transcendence is reached in service to the center, service to Krishna. Now in this light, when he says, Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi darasi, does that make sense? That anything that you do, anything you engage in, do it for me, for him. Tad kurushva madarpanam. Madarpanam means you engage in any of this, not as a karma yogi, but as a servitor of me, as my servitor. That is the perfection. So see the levels, how fine, finer, finest,
Yes.
finer than the finest. So it's very nice. See here in 8 and 9, the perfection of karma yoga is being elucidated. What does that mean? It means one who can isolate objects of the senses, isolate the senses, and then be able to consider various engagements thereof, and isolate oneself from what is happening.
Identifying it.
Yeah, this is not me. I'm not the doer.
I do not perform any actions at
which means I'm not the doer. But that's level 1. I mean, in I'm not the doer. Level 2 is that doing everything for, or all of engagement in any activity happening for the center only, exclusively. That is the perfection. Fine, finer, finest, finer than the finest.
Wasn't that surrendered action? So surrender is our highest. That's the highest.
You see Sharanagati in everything. That's very good.
That's the point.
Very nice. Let's see, considers I do not perform any action at all. Okay, number 10. Who's going to read number 10? Mala Prabhu?
Sure.
King of
One who is living in this world selflessly offers all his actions to the Supreme Lord, is not polluted by sin. As a lotus leaf remains on the water, yet is untouched by it.
Is that? So,
Living in this world selflessly offers all his actions to the Supreme Lord. Occurs no sin,
Right.
no karma.
so no piety, no sin. But the perfect karma yogi who's doing selfless action but not connected to the center, their account is still active.
And polluted. To some
But,
degree.
but they're elevated, but they're not entirely free. It's a subtle difference. This is Srila Govinda Mahārāj who gave insight into that. Right. But that's how it works. So, number 11.
We're going back this way now.
Number 11. You're going to read? Luana?
Number 11.
Number 11.
By giving up attachment, the karma yogis perform action merely through the body, mind, intelligence, and even the senses for self-purification.
Is number 11 okay? So the attachment is gone because the heart is clean, no selfish interest. So therefore, the karma yogis performing action merely through the, so that all of this becomes like a vessel or to mind, intelligence, even the senses for self-purification. More and more purification. So the more one can empty oneself, in the words of Param Guru Mahārāj, it's a gradual process of emptying oneself of separate interest. So again, gradation, and it can go to extreme levels. To what level has one emptied oneself of separate interest? And when nothing remains, then it's superconductivity. Then that's perfection.
But Prabhu, there's like these subtle levels because we don't know what full self-surrender is. You know, we're too covered over. And so the Guru comes in, the guidance of the Guru is like, how do we know that this is what the Lord wants? You know, we're supposed to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, but how do we know that? There's And mind will trick us, oh, well, I think this is what you like, and so I'm going to do that. And that's not self-surrender, that's doing what I want to do and couching it that this is for the Lord. You know what I mean? It's like, can you speak a little bit about that? Because even that is better than not trying.
Yeah.
But
So self-doubt is good. To doubt oneself at all levels is good, because if you don't doubt, that would not be selfless. So to doubt oneself is good, and then in higher levels, how much one is attuned to your environment is the real key. Like, to what level am I attuned and I listen and I receive in totality? That is the key. To have just define one body as all in all is not what our conception is. So when we are treading along this path, and then, you know, good association comes about, then that in of itself is so meaningful, because good association will actually nourish us and offer that correction in a wondrous and a beautiful way, affectionate way, and in a way that we will be able to cross-reference, for lack of a better term, what we feel within and what we get feedback from other, let's say, others in the association, that we think or we feel that they are at some level that we can associate with. It's two things. So from within, and then and from within is how much our faith has developed. That is the real key, like how much, to what level our faith has developed. And when selflessly, when one is serving, let's say one doesn't think of all of this, one is engaging in service, and maybe we don't realize how far we've gone. Maybe.
yeah,
And in let's say in something like that, then environment will tell as a good surprise, like, oh, that's surprising. But it is good to keep thinking that, you know, I'm like worthless, and I'm, you know, not thinking but actually believing that I haven't really made any progress. That negative attitude is good, versus that sense of accomplishment, like, so.
I'm a devotee.
See, that is so. That's why it's kind of like really not paying too much attention to my achievements, because then that'll make me focus on something which is supposed to be emptying out and being negative for more mercy to descend, and then I'm blocking it.
Right.
So by observation, so there's a thing, like, by observation the outcome can change, just simply by observation. So to be selfless means to not be that observant about those things that are happening within. to that extent. Then feeling will come, association will tell, environment will tell. Yes?
That seems to be one of the main keys in our progress, is to read the environment, to see the environment as favorable no matter what.
Always.
And it's like we have this tendency to take a little pride in what we do or define things by the results of our actions.
Yeah.
But in actuality, our goal is to understand that we're not doing these things. That sometimes we're allowed to be part of something and used as an... When I was in ISKCON, we used to go out on book distribution every day. Our prayer, if we had the right consciousness, was use me as your instrument. And magic happened.
Beautiful.
But when you're thinking, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have these results, and you struggle. But if you can let go, then it just happens through you. But if you claim those results, then you're backpedaling.
Exactly. So in some way, that's like selflessness, where it's okay, I'm just engaging, and the environment has got me to this stage, and this is what I'm doing. And just like you're saying, that letting go, that...
It's like tuning into what's the Lord's wish. Like, we have certain things, rules, whatever, form to follow, but then something happens. And it can be the people that are involved, the situation, whatever, you have to adjust.
Yes.
And then it's like trying to use your intelligence, but you have to really pray and really try and connect to the Lord. Like, what do you want in this situation?
Those are the moments, those are the stimuli that actually make us go deeper.
Yeah.
Because if that nebulous kind of a situation or things don't happen, then how do we go further?
Right.
Then we'll happily be on
There's no coasting.
that coasting, and then it'll just become more of a mental thing than the actual progress. So
It becomes mechanical.
it becomes mechanical. So the way of progress is like that. And to continually have that negativity, internal negativity, is to attract more and more of the positive. Because that is what we'll do. See, the thing is, I would go, show me God. Where is God? It's like, no, I'm working on myself so that He sees me. That is our conception. If I understand that, all is good. This is the scientific way. The scientific way is not to go and be an observer of the super subject.
We could go to the movies, huh? Okay, let's go see God.
Yeah, so then it's just like a mental exercise. We have no conception of what is divinity, what that grace is truly, the finest of the finest. But we have, what Gurudev, Guru Mahārāj, they've given us, Swami Mahārāj, and that is to strengthen our faith more and more so we can go on that path, develop that negativity more and more, and actually feel it. And then see how the environment responds in the most affectionate ways.
And sometimes it comes with a slap, and you have to take that too.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
It's helping. Going in the wrong direction. Whatever, some adjustment.
Some adjustment.
You need to make, and that's a positive.
So like that, if we tune into that, when the environment, if in your heart of hearts you have come to know that the environment is favorable, there's really nothing you can cause to be like entirely wrong or anything like devastating like that. No, we can't. And in fact, there's a verse that Gurudev has in, I think, Affectionate Guidance, or I forget where, but it's from Bhagavatam, where it says, oh, at this stage, all you do is run. Close your eyes and run. And you will not fall. And nothing will happen. Yanasthai Nararajan. I forget. So it's that beautiful. Like once that connect with the environment is to the extent of, like you're saying, I know it's favorable. If you know it, then you can run. And keep developing that keep that core as negative, as like, I really don't deserve any of it, and I'm not going to observe any of it either. Like all my accomplishments, I did this, now I have this, I had this, wow, you know. None of that. Just keep going.
And that ties into this, where everything you're doing, all your senses, everything, is just for service.
Sometimes it'll be like a negative response, sometimes it'll be positive, but in any case, it has to keep going.
And we have to try and see the Lord's hands behind it. Don't
That's
forget
it.
that.
Yeah. It is.
I remember one time I can't remember where, but in one of Guru Maharaj's books, it was like a little chastisement. Krishna is there whether you remember it or not. You know, and I thought,
He's always there.
I need that tattooed somewhere.
He's always there.
Yeah.
So, but you know, this like this sammohan is this kind of hypnotism that has captured us. Sargayanti Parantapa, at this, you know, when creation happens in this forgetful world or this plane of existence, then he is making us forget him and not see him, but it's ultimately his energy everywhere. Bahirang, antarang, tatastha, ultimately it's all his energies. It's all his. So it's all at his disposal. So that's why the environment is favorable at all times. Not just like, you know, only if you're in the Swarup Shakti, only then environment is favorable. No. It is a deep realization of the conscious unit that no matter where I'm at, the environment is always favorable. Because he's in the back, always, affectionately taking care of me. Why? Because in my heart, all I have is to approach him. That's all I want. If that is there, then how can anything be from the environment be anything but good? All good. Because what is the thankless task of Maya Devi? Is to correct, like a correction. This is a correctional facility, and to correct the wayward entities. But once they're corrected, Maya Devi is all but helping. That's why environment is favorable. People don't understand that, oh, Maya is beating. No, Maya will not beat you. The police, Swami Mahārāj used to give that, like the police is a friend of a good citizen. I mean, in the ideal world. There can be nuances to that also, but I'm just saying ideally, in a proper state, proper country, proper social system, the police is the best friend of a good citizen. They will talk to them, they will invite them, you go to their place. You can go in and meet with sergeants, with any of the police officers very nicely. So who fears the police? It's the offenders, or it's the criminals, not the good citizen.
That's hard to admit that we're the criminals. Because we all are.
No, I'm just saying to view something in that way, like, okay, maybe today I am, but that's not what I intend to be. So it should be like that, like, okay, all these things that are coming to me in this fashion is because I'm a criminal. But do I want to stay a criminal? But it should propel you, no. So this is not something where, okay, well, I'm a criminal, so that's what I'm going to be. Well, that's ridiculous. That's not what this insight is about. Insight is about to tell you that no, if your intent, and if you try to align it, and if you go in that proper direction, then all will be good, whether situated anywhere, whether outflow, inflow, anywhere. It'll be good, and ultimately it will take you there. So that ways. Not to be always resentful and like, well, I submit to my situation and there's nothing can be known. There should always be hope. Isn't it? That's part of the environment. There's always hope. No, I've ruined the earth to the extent where, oh, it's all... No, you can't do much. That's why, again and again, like, we're tatastha. These feelings come to us because we're part of Krishna. So, I can press a button and, the planet will be... no, you it's not in anyone's hand. It's only in, one entity's hand. And how much one actually sees through and believes that in the core of one's heart, that will define their level of faith, the development of faith. How much are they standing on that soil? Then one can happily go up to the plane of Advaya Gyan. What is that? Non-duality. Whether good or bad, it's all good. It's all for me. It's all for my positive development. That is non-duality. And in any case, the entity will celebrate, whether it's chastisement or whether it's benediction. Right? That's what Rupa Goswāmī says in that famous verse about the Chataka bird. Virachaya mai dandam dīna bandho dayamava gatirehana bhavatta kachidanya mamasti nipatatu shatkotim nirbharam va navam bhastu tadapi kilpayoda stuyate chatakena. He says, whether I am struck by lightning and vaporized, or whether that nectarean drops of water come to me, because I don't drink from anywhere else, I only drink from what comes from the rain cloud. In either case, you are my only shelter.
They agree.
Someone agrees. So, like that, So that kind of, that inner sentiment that comes out in that way, that it doesn't matter to me. Externally this, externally that, it doesn't matter to me. Why? Because you are my only shelter. And the Chataka bird continues to stuyate chatakena, so is always in adoration and in affectionate adoration, worshipping the rain cloud. That's sum and substance. So environment is always favorable. One, because of duality, I will see, oh, this was very negative because I got chastised, or whatever, and then, or hey, look, I got this, so now I feel accomplished. But that is what is that? That is duality. But when one is situated on this platform that I'm not the doer, one is convinced, one is realized to that extent that I'm not the doer, then none of this would make any difference internally. Like, oh, you did this, but if let's say someone knows, if I know it's not me, then how can I take any credit, or how can I be otherwise? It's doesn't matter, because what actually matters to me is my service, is what I'm engaged in, rather than self-observation and trying to observe, like, okay, this much of credit, this much of debit. That'll be counterproductive to any progress. So it's like that. It's very sweet. And then too much knowledge and too much like analysis, or all of this is not required. Not required at all. Because then we get into like discussing things threadbare, like super analytical. One can, but not really required. It's a flow. It's a feeling, and when one knows that the environment is favorable, and behind is Guru Gauranga. So you'll be cheated. Okay, I'll be cheated. That's okay. No problem. Everything that they possess will be taken. Sure. Was not mine anyways. Because primary thing is to know that I'm not the doer. Guru Mahārāj also said something very beautiful. He said, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. To err is human, meaning what? It's a human tendency. We always tend towards perfection. What does that mean? That tendency towards perfection means we're going to create all kinds of errors. Otherwise, what does that mean, to tend to perfection? Like in a differential equation. Tending towards, some limit. Okay, but never reaching there. So in that entire endeavor, it'll be full of what? Full of errors? Errors? That is human.
There's an old Zen saying, your whole life has been a series of mistakes. Why get excited now? Just continue.
Very nice. Yeah. And then it says, in Bhagavatam it says, Kalera dosha nidhe rajan. Kalera dosha nidhe rajan. Dosh means all kinds of defects. So making mistakes is a defect. Sin is a defect. All kinds of defects, and we're swimming in it. It's an ocean. Baste ko mahan guna. What is that? Kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajet. Engage in sankirtan. Incessant. Kirtanadeva krishnasya means only Krishna Nam, His holy name. Not like let's gather various other, no. Only His exclusive holy name. Kirtanada eva Krishnasya. Ev means to say only his. Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramrade. That is the way. So not so much being bothered about accomplishments or things that are... At what point in time does an entity actually come to the point of Sharanagati? That will... that like minuscule churn or that minuscule millisecond or nanosecond can outweigh all the baggage that one has collected for innumerable lifetimes. What to talk of 50 years or 100 years or 200 years or a million years. This is the verdict of Bhagavatam. That one moment when that realization hits that it's all him, that outweighs all these other separate things that I'm harboring, that I have. I'm so great, all washed away. Or the thinking that I have so much of, I'm so bad, how can I venture in this direction? Like this, gone. Kim pramattasya bahubhir parokshera hayanereha baram muhuratam viditam ghatate shreyasayata. Baram muhuratam viditam. Like that very split second is enough to wipe out all these doubts, all these different things, and simply see his hand everywhere. That is enough. No need to worry about what will happen, what is this, what is that. That is all mental. Oh, this and this will happen. Okay, let it come. Let it come. Doesn't matter. That's like Gurudev used to say, the suicide. Huh? That's what it means. They're throwing, they're inflicting so many things to Prahlad Maharaj. Throwing him off a cliff, putting him under elephants, a little boy. Oh. Yeah. To the doubting mind, it would be it's not possible. To the doubting mind, it's like, how is it possible? You know, if his father is a king, a demon, and he's just hell-bent on harming him, and he will harm him. But no harm will come to him. And he's just going about, he's not complaining about his father even. He doesn't go to anywhere and says, well, my guardian is abusing me. He doesn't say that. He doesn't complain to his mother. But he's situated in that non-dual function of the soul proper. And he's just rendering his service. It's like, come, let it come, whatever comes. Snakes are going to bite. All these things will happen. Nothing. His own relative Holika tries to burn him. Nothing is successful. Wow. These are not stories. This is not a story. This is historical. Hiranyakashipu asking, well, you're saying you're seeing him everywhere. Is he here? He goes, yes. And he doesn't say that like he can actually see. He goes, yes, he's there. I'm like, really? Bam. There we go. And that demon, Hiranyakashipu, was not ordinary. He is also transcendental. He has such powers that none of the demons of today have. And yet was nothing in front of real devotion. So we always have that negative aspect within and keep treading along.
It's hard to imagine having that much faith. You know, be thrown off a cliff.
But I don't actually...
You desire, Lord. Throw you in a snake pit. Whatever you desire, Lord. It's hard to imagine going through that and not freaking out a little bit.
See, that's good, because that's like me and thinking like, look at his situation. So that is the real thing. Not just land up in, try and land up in some bedroom. That is real.
It's also not foreign to other processes. Catholics they have people walking into fires and the lions can't touch them, and there are miracles of protection for all beings who are that designed with their faith. But I'm seeing it also in my history. I know of these stories. I forget Daniel's thrown to the lion's den, and they won't touch him. They'll eat everybody else.
And there are like these three people, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
Yeah. There are stories. So this is universal.
Yeah. But so all kinds of external, I call them like these deviant tendencies to be like an achiever or any kind of politics or any other thing, one has to do away with. And that's really like the inner work that we have to do. You adjusting to the environment, with what kind of level of self-giving do you adjust to the environment at any point? Because I'll adjust, okay, well, it's a give and take. Okay, well then, that's a different level. At that level, you can't go environment is all favorable. Here it says Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi is like well established. Karma Yogi, is in Karma Yoga, all selfless, yet not perfect. His personal account is still active. His or her, whatever. Their personal account is still active. But when they come to the point of full surrender and working entirely as service and like he says, Tat Kurushva Madarpanam, when everything is for him, the engagement is for him, not the fruits. One is not even thinking of fruits, that is not thinking that far. Then it is all service. That is the perfection. Swami Maharaj used to say that is the perfection of yoga, and I used to keep wondering, well, yoga is yoga. What does he mean, perfection of yoga? Well, this is what it means, perfection of yoga. An ordinary karma yogi is not perfect unless everything is dedicated to Krishna. That is the perfection of yoga. So that is how these inner meanings are revealed to us. I've studied Bhagavad Gītā for so long. I mean, I've read it before I came to Saraswat Mutt. But, those things were not. Karma Yoga is, that's what it is. But these fine things, how will they come out? And to me, when I look back, that was actually essential for me to come to this stage. Otherwise, I would not, to struggle over there, to not find answers, and to like hold it like, okay, well, I'm going to hold it for now because I can't. and to be not satisfied, as always like, no, I want to go deeper. So all of that is, those tendencies are, they're good looking back. So see here he says, mentally renouncing, he says, na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu. This was so revolutionary. Just this one sentence, half of this verse, that when we say, when we talk of God judging, or he as a God, one is like, okay, well, he'll be judging, like, okay, you're that is good, that is bad. Here he says, na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu. I'm not interested in what you consider as pap or punya, or as good or bad, good deeds, bad deeds. I'm not really concerned about that. What level is this? So it is to be considered. He says, na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu, in verse 15. That is revolutionary. People who believe, who say, well, destiny is everything. Everything is predestined. Nothing is in your hands. Well, here he's completely blasting that.
Turn that down.
What? Oh, that one. So he's completely blasting that out. He's like, no, I'm not interested in keeping account of your good deeds or keeping account of your bad deeds. That's not my thing.
Who would want to do that? If you could do anything you want, would you want to do that?
So he's saying that, like, and he's saying it's like agyane navratam jnanam tena muyyanti jantava. It's because of the agyan, or it's because of the ignorance that is that you're in, that you're thinking that way.
Poor fund of knowledge.
Poor fund of knowledge.
That's the term.
Agyane navratam jnanam tena muyyanti jantava. And everyone is thinking like that. Oh, you do good deeds, then you're a good person. You do bad deeds, then you're a bad person. And that's it. God likes good people.
And he's watching everything you do, and he's judging you.
And he's judging you. You better believe it. So, and here you get just as clear as day. Why is he saying that? He's not interested in good or bad. Because it's part of duality, ultimately. How we're seeing things as good and bad is all duality. That has nothing to do with what really things are, how things are. When we say reality, that's complete dissociation from reality. And we're seeing like that. To blast that, these kind of revolutionary and stark statements, when they come, then we need to pay attention to that and go, well, let me study that, what that means. And just that half verse, if you try and contemplate on that, if you try to go deep in that, you will see a lot. Your conception of Godhead will like totally like undergo a transformation. If it's like, just like, well, God is this, God is that, and you're thinking this, you're thinking that. Look at that. It's like it'll turn like that conception of Godhead like upside down, like what? So and then he says, na kartattam na karmani lokasya sajati Prabhu. The verse before that, verse 14, that is so beautiful. Na karma phala sanyogam savavastu pravartate. Neither does he what does he, that's 14, let's read that one time.
The Lord does not generate anyone's ego of considering themselves the doer, nor their actions, nor their association with the fruits of their action. These are all the result of their external nature of ignorance since time immemorial.
So, someone is thinking, well, why am I doing something that is ugly or bad, and why is God making me do this? Why is, well, here he's clearly saying that, like, I don't do that. It's like, that's on you. Those are your tendencies and your like inner propensities. You clean them out and you will find that I have nothing to do with them. I've made this entire system for you so you can, have those and, have these other separate desires and tendencies and make bad decisions and then come to this hopefully conclusion that
It's hard to understand how people of faith those that have faith but don't know or understand karma, because it explains so much.
I was amazed one time, I won't name any names, but just not that long back, some few months back, someone who sits at the seat of probably the highest you can say dispensation of like the Hindu, all the substrata they're in, they said that, your karma and everything is determined by God. Literally, they said it, and it's on record. And I was like hearing it, and then I went to I went to Lavanya, and then I went to Nandakishore, and then I went to also Abba. Asked them separately. I'm like, what do you think about? And they all answered perfectly. Oh, that's my doing.
That's what?
That's our doing. That's on me. Like I can change it any time. It's on me. And I have the choice, always.
So it means God's picking out people and punishing them.
Yeah. No, and so it's predetermined.
That's what I mean. He's determined you're going to suffer and you're not.
That's it. And you have no say in that. You can't change any of it.
There's no free will.
No. As far as karma is concerned, according to free will is, I don't know what they'd say about that. I don't think they'd even understand. And they're sitting there with all the, the robes and all paraphernalia, and people are like, oh my God, just looking at them. And this is what comes out of their conception. And I was amazed. I'm like, this is like not good. And all these people are looking up to people like that to actually guide them and tell them that's the situation. So, and it's just so clearly written right here. It's revealed right here. But people will not. The Supreme Lord accepts neither the sin nor the piety of anyone. The living beings fall into illusion because their knowledge is covered by ignorance. Under ignorance, anyone who thinks that way is thinking that way. Vanya, can you get me a glass of water?
I got it.
But we continue like that? No, it's all.
Think of the rope once were putting a diluted concepts out. Then you have to understand the importance of the gradations to accommodate that mistake. We have to understand it's necessary to be able to get to the next level. Many times you have to take that position first. So there's no condemnation of their position. You embrace it as being particularly responsible for that phase of their life and leave it there. Otherwise, there's too much temptation.
You're right, but I was thinking if let's say that gentleman is being asked something that he or she, they're not sure about, why can't you just say that? Like, let me consult. Thank you. Let me consult, let me just double check and I'll get back to you. No, my word is final. What is your word? Your word is like...
terrible behavior, no doubt.
is not corroborated anywhere. And you continue to hold the highest positions. That's unfortunate for everyone. But I was happy that at least, my children and my wife, they all knew. They were like, I'm like, okay, perfect, thank you.
There was, we were told a story that when Guru Maharaj was alive, these devotees went to visit him and were, of course, charmed and everything, and then they went back to their home country and took initiation from another guru, a different line. And the devotees at the Mat were like, how can that happen? How can someone have contact with you and then take initiation there? Like, how does that add up? And the Guru Maharaj said, according to their sincerity. So if someone's sincere, they'll be directed accordingly. So, sometimes you can try and wake people up, but do they want to be?
You'll mess their plans up if you wake them up.
Say that again?
You'll mess their plans up if you wake them.
But it's also Mahaprabhu wants us to try, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
There's this
Shove it down your throat.
Gurudev's one of his darshans. I just saw that a couple of days back because Chinmaya Prabhu, he's a co-editor on our Facebook Bhagavad Gītā, and he puts these just beautiful, darshans and videos with the closed captions.
Where does he post them?
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. There's two channels. One is Gurudev videos. I think I forget what.
And then
Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj video series.
Yeah.
And then there's also Śrīla Mahārāj video series.
So Gurudev is just, he's sitting and then somewhere and people are around and they're asking him things and it gets fancy, and then I can see that, he does this with his hands and then I can see like Gurudev has something churning, and so he keeps going with it, he keeps answering and then blah blah, and then suddenly he goes, we have so much of knowledge, we have so many resources, but we are not swimming. He says, we need to swim. Literally, he said that, and I'm like, he's like, basically what he was saying was that and they were like, I don't mean as a negative on anyone. There were people around him and they're all good and they're all high, but they're just like...
No one around him that didn't make a mistake.
So he's like, we need to swim. We need to swim. And it's like, pedantic theorizing is is theorizing, but we need to practically get there.
Yeah,
But
you just said that once. You said, at some point you have to actually practice Krishna consciousness.
At some point, not right now. We can wait.
But it's like we like to talk. We can spend hours talking about it. But at some point you have to actually apply it to your life.
you should see that. You'll love it. The way he said it, and he said it like really nicely. He didn't say it, and he's like, yeah, we're all like, yeah, that's excellent, and we also need to swim. So, Hare Krishna. Well, but these things are like, people go, oh, this Karma Yoga, I know what Karma Yoga is, I know what this is. But some of the fine things, you get into, then it'll really, encourage everyone to go deeper. And that's what it's all about. It's not like being done with it. If
I read that.
And I remember one of the things that Prabhupada said to me was to go deeper. This was Mahārāj's great story to me. Go deeper. He would always say that. So this is always going deeper. We're never going to accomplish you that.
Yeah.
But there'll always be a deeper place to go.
Yeah.
And our goal isn't trying to gather knowledge or gather everything. It's not even our goal.
I think he was talking about the pool of sincerity, going deeper into there. That it wasn't to gather more knowledge. It was to deposit yourself a little further.
Yeah. But like that.
I remember a talk once about the process. And I think it was Goswāmī, and he's saying, and we may not get there, but who cares if the process is so wonderful?
So sweet. See, that's that negative attitude. Inner attitude that like, okay, that's fine. So he's not considering, oh well, I need to like be 100% calibrated. He's like, no,
and there's some reward. I'm going to give all this, but I get a reward.
Yeah.
And it's a transaction.
Nothing.
Instead of,
That's
you hear the stories of the great devotees, like, who was it that they came for him? Oh, the Yamadutas came. Oh, it's your time to. No, I'm busy. I'm doing my seva. Don't bug me. Like that, right?
Yeah.
It's so. If you get there, if you really get that taste, then you're actually satisfied.
Taste is everything.
Yeah.
Taste is everything. So, by Govinda Mahārāj's mercy, and then he can. And it's my feeling, like my own, I'm not saying that it's any kind of, but my thing is that when, like, through him, I can access anything. Otherwise, I used to read Srila Guru Mahārāj's things before, but it did not make anything as deep as him, because going through this Srila Govinda Mahārāj, then it's a different thing to access Param Guru Mahārāj.
Tell us about it.
I don't know. I'm not nobody to say that, but I feel personally just this difference, like, just the level of to which it, this flow can affect me. Otherwise, it never did.
But the telescopic system.
Yeah.
Where the guru is a lens, and each lens enhances.
100%.
Yeah.
That is 100%. Because there's his direct disciples, Param Guru Mahārajas, and all respects to them. I'm just saying my little thing. Before coming into line, if I read a lot of, or I thought I read a lot, but it didn't This is different, is what I'm saying. Like, this is entirely different. So,
I'm always thinking that I'm not that intelligent, but by mercy somehow it's being pushed into me and settled in and never questioned.
I think it's all mostly about the chastity, and chastity is about intent. Intent is pure. So these other things will follow. You'll be guided in the right direction. So what is that? That is the environment. No. How is that happening? The environment somehow. Well, a phone call coming, or you're getting in touch with certain devotee and then talking to them and then going, whoa, that's what I wanted, and then that leads to a sangha, or that leads to other association. That is ultimately that is the environment. The environment is taking care of you. And what do you have? You have your chastity, your purity of purpose, your intent to offer, literally, to the environment.
That's your greatest wealth. Gurudev said his favorite two English words were chastity and sincerity.
Yeah.
So those things that I can handle, I keep in my system. The other things, maybe in discussion, maybe in this, maybe in that, but they may come. They may come by mercy, by grace. I'll be happy. But I'm not going to observe and feed off of that and hold it like this is my proprietary, because nothing is. So, what right do I have on anything? Even myself. What right do I have? All aspects of the self. Physical and subtle. What right do I have? That is being an instrument. Otherwise, how would you get into that area of being an instrument? When you have all these separate interests and you hold these other, or some of the aspects of the self to, like the selfish mode, you can't. Yeah. Then there's resistance. That means there's resistance. But the idea is to do away with all of that. So that's why it says, cultivate that negativity, inner negativity. That is the necessity. And that will attract fulfillment. That will attract the positive. That will attract divinity. Then
going in and competing with God doesn't help.
Hare Krishna. But anyway, that's more than half of the chapter today. That's progress, solid progress.
We're after progress?
I think it has 29, if I'm not wrong. 29 verses, 28 or 29. So we did 15. So that's more than half. Hare Krishna.
The city of 9 gates.
So if you permit, Didi, can we pause here? Okay. Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktī Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktī Rakshak Srīdhar Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwarena Śrīla Bhaktī Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Seva Vrinda ki jai. Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai, Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai, and Joy Saparikat Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki jai. I should say the first, but Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Please pardon my offenses. Nittai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Swarnangi Didi ki jai. Super servitor. Shri Janardhan Maharaj ki jai. Swarnangi Didi ki jai.